Hi guys, and welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to Mark Bayersky YouTube channel. It's your channel, and a beautiful, glorious day today. The sun's not shining too bright, but it's a very peaceful day, and if you could look across the mountain top, you can see the outline of some beautiful clouds silhouetting against the beautiful sea down below. It's a glorious day. You can hear the birds singing. It's almost like we had some rain last night, and every time it rains, it's almost like Mother Nature going, ah, she takes a deep breath, that she needs it. So it is a beautiful day after that. As soon as the rain comes here, it just feels somewhat different. I think the rains often clear away a lot of negativity away from us, and I often, in Bali especially, I used to walk out in the rain and just let it pour over me, a bit like the sea. Today's a beautiful day because we're talking about signs this week, and the signs that have happened to me over the 13 years. And so I'm going to go back now and bring out a memory of one which is in the book, The Diary of an Accidental Psychic. It's the very beginning of the story where my journey started, and I didn't realise why this happened. And many of you over the years have read that chapter and contacted me over it saying, Mark, the same thing happened to me, but in a slightly different way. And I say, yeah, I know, anybody else would think we're crazy, but when it does happen to you, you realise there is another force, there is another energy, there's something out there which is very difficult to understand, but once you've experienced something so profound, you realise that there is definitely something else going on. I was only a young boy, and I may have even told this story before on one of my videos, but it's nice to share it again. As a young boy, I used to play in the park, Greenhead Park in Huddersfield, and as I finished playing football, you recount the memories of the goals that you scored and the tackles that you did, and I remember bouncing the ball like a basketball. And I was on Gledholt Road, just crossing the road to the front of my door, 70 Gledholt Road. And as I was crossing the road to get to the house, I realised I was bouncing the ball. And as I bounced the ball, I got the ball in my hand and then realised I was in the middle of the road without even looking. And I turned to my right to look at the hill, and a car was coming, fast approaching, very fast. It was very close, so I knew I was going to get hit. Your body instantly knows, and it goes into freeze, which mine did. My body went into freeze, and then the only thing that I can explain happened next was something that was so profound that I didn't speak about for many years after. So as I was at that stage of fright, that's all what happens. A fright comes over you, and it's a frozen feeling. And as I looked at the car coming closer and closer, faster and faster, from nowhere, somebody grabbed me from behind. They actually grabbed my clothes and pulled me back. And I was pulled back and I hit the curb. The ball, I can't remember whether the ball was still in my hand, but as I fell back, and it was a proper fall, so I could feel, the bang. And I was so much in shock that I didn't feel any pain at all. I think when you're in shock, you don't feel pain. And as I turned to thank the person who'd pulled me back, there was nobody there. It was, looking back on it now, I would say it's probably the most profound moment of my life that I have no real explanation for, but I do know that now that the day came when my first mentor said to me, Mark, we were sat down having a coffee, Mark, do you remember anything happening in your life that was that you couldn't explain? And I thought about it and I said, no, not really. And she said, just have a think, when you were a little boy, did anything happen? I think my first memory was nearly falling into the water, a big steep embanking, and the water was below. And I found myself looking at these fish in Poland, and I was leaning forward, and I was so mesmerised that I actually realised I was falling in. And as I was falling in, my cousin pulled me back. And I thought, was it that? And then I thought, no, I was just lucky at that time, and it was somebody who pulled me. It was my cousin, saw me falling and pulled me back. And then all of a sudden, boom, It just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I says, oh my God, yes, I remember. And I explained what had happened, and she had a big smile on her face. She says, I knew it. So she knew something that had happened to me, which was so profound that could not be explained. And she said, did you tell anybody? And I said, you know what? I went home and I didn't. And I recall the reason why I didn't tell anybody, because if I'd have told my dad, he would have smashed me across the room for crossing the road without looking left and right. So I never told my mum. I kept it to myself, because what do you do at that age, at such a young age? How do you go home and say to your mum you were crossing the road and somebody from nowhere pulled you back? It's just, so you let it go. And it's funny, over the years, it was blanked out up until this moment. You see, my dear friends, certain things happen to us, and I believe our minds do block certain things out for certain reasons. I don't know why I blocked it out. I don't know if it was for the reason that I couldn't explain myself or what, but it is a beautiful thing to know that somebody knew something about me that really brought back such a powerful memory, which then helped me along my spiritual journey. It made me realise beyond a shadow of a doubt that the person who pulled me back, there was a reason for that. And I suppose you can look at my moment now, talking to you, helping you through the many videos that I do, the 200-300 videos, and the 13 years that I've been working as a healer. Maybe there was a reason why I was saved, my life was saved, and maybe it could have been this. I don't actually believe that we are saved because of what we're going to do in our life, because that would be unfair. How could I be saved and somebody else not? So I don't really have the answer to that. All I can say is I was so grateful for that moment to happen. What I do say to people is that there are times and moments that Spirit's intervention does occur. I don't believe it's often, but I do believe it happens once in a blue moon. I have had, since that book, Diary of an Accidental Psychic, I have had so many messages and so many amazing stories that made me cry and like, wow. And it really reassures me that Spirit does help us many times. So today, dear friends, don't ever despair. Don't ever think to yourself that if you're feeling down and everything's going wrong, don't ever despair in the magic. Don't ever despair that you're on your own and that life is all against you. It isn't. It's never against you. All the pain and suffering that we go through daily makes us who we are right now. And you have to prove to yourself how amazing you are by standing up each day and going to work and doing what you're doing and being amazing and being kind. Even though you've been abused in so many ways, you still get up. You still help people. You still care for them. You still have empathy. You still have love inside you. Gosh, doesn't that make you amazing? Because to me, it makes you the most powerful soul in the world. I love you all with my hand on my heart, and I hope this little story touched you, and I'm sure you're going to tell me a few stories of your own underneath this YouTube channel, and I hope you do. Not only to share to me, but for the other people who want to believe in life, but have fallen so low and so down that it's very difficult for them to see any kind of light. This kind of video, these kind of self-help messages of the signs certainly help people bring back the flame that sometimes dies within us. And I really truly believe that when our time comes for that light to relight again and to be the most amazing soul that you always were, is that time when it comes. It's not for me to say or anybody else. It comes when it comes. And I know whatever you're doing right now, I know that if you're watching this, then there's a reason for that, and maybe, just maybe, your light is about to relight so bright that magic will come into your life and you will enlighten yourself and you will become the most amazing miracle that you always were. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Once that turns around and once you believe in yourself more, then I think you're on your journey of self-awareness and enlightenment. And the secret, the key to the door, is believing in you and how powerful you are. You have everything you need within you. I've always known that. And for 13 years, I've tried to help each individual soul by showing them who they are. It's a great day today, guys. I'm looking forward to the Richie Allen show in a few hours, 8:30 Spain time. I hope you can join us. It's going to be a very special show. We're going to talk about many things, and amongst the spiritual things, we're going to talk about the manipulation of many different corporations who try to manipulate you by using spirituality now for their own means and gains. It's very interesting. It's going to be a great show. I hope you can join us and put some questions to me. I don't know if I can answer them, but I will try my best. I love you all. Take care. Until tonight at 8:30 Spain time, I'll see you on the Richie Allen radio show. I love you all, guys. Come and say hello. Bye.